Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Alicia and today we are going to be checking in for week 1 and week 2 since we did start the month late, fairly late. So I have both of my sheets here, the weekly balance as well as the weekly check-in. One of them is missing a strip because I did use it for a previous spread. But let's go ahead and jump right in. We did already set up these previous spreads together, but we're going to go ahead and put the weekly check-in and the weekly balance here. We're going to put the weekly check-in on this side first, and then we'll do the weekly balance afterwards to balance out all of our bank accounts. And the planner that I'm using is my Erin Condren Monthly Planner 7x9. I am also going to be using the same monthly planner next year as well, but it's going to be the color blends. We're going to put the thick washi down in the weekly check-in. It has been so cold lately because of all that the Arctic blast. It is very loud and windy outside. Weekly check-in, and I only check in for 4 weeks every single month, so I will not be using that last line since I don't split it up into 5 weeks. One of the reasons why is because some of the days there's just too little days in the week, so I don't want to do the extra check-in, but it's also because I don't have space since I already have 5 categories to check in for. That's week 2. And the categories that I am checking in for are going to be our monthly budget categories, the ones that we give ourselves every month to spend, which are these: the eating out, groceries, gas allowance, and pups. If I were to have cash envelopes, these would be those, but since we are cashless budgeters and we only use credit cards, this is how I keep track of all of my accounts. Last one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll do this in washi. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then I have these patterned flags on here that I'm just going to stick down. I don't really know what else to put in the side over here, so I used to have dots, but you guys might know my variable income and my savings tracker has dots, so I feel like it was just way too many dots. So I think that this looks nice. This is the rest of the sheet, so that is the remaining. I'm not going to use this since I don't plan for 5 weeks. But let's go ahead and check in for the weekly check-in, and it's going to be those 5 categories we mentioned before. So we'll do eating out, groceries, gas allowance, and pups. Now for our monthly view is where we check in these categories. Okay, so I'm not sure where we left off, but we are just gonna go ahead and check in for the month, or for the last 2 weeks from the 1st up until the 17th. First week will be from the 1st to the 10th. Second week will be from the 11th to the 17th. So let me actually write down those dates first. So I have all the dates down, and the reason why I do this is just because it's easier for me to film the weekly check-ins on Sundays versus on a Monday or the following week. So that's kind of why I have it just end on the 17th. So we have our none spent stickers that match the kit and our bill dues. I usually don't use bill due stickers, but I might just mark when the bill came out since I have them, and these are oops. So since we are already at the end of the 2nd week, we're gonna go ahead and just check it all in this week instead. This arrow was very crooked, but just to make things easy, and not just that, but since we also started our budget very late, I don't have anything marked for like this first week and a half, so it will just be a lot easier. So let's actually look at our little expenses here. This app that I'm using is the Daily Budget app. This is just one of the apps I find works for us. I will have a video linked before that explains more about the apps that we use, also why we use credit cards, that good stuff. But let's scroll. So our first expense I actually have tracked in here is from the 11th. So it's the start of this week. So I think what I'm going to do, because I don't want to mark all these days as none spent, because I'm pretty sure there was stuff spent. It's just I wasn't budgeting back these days, and it was just too much of a hassle to kind of backtrack. So I have these leftover stickers from my overview. This is my personal planner, but I set up the calendar. I will be doing one in my A5 on camera, but this one I did on my own. So I have some leftover stickers from that, and I think I'm just gonna mark it in there that we started budgeting on the 11th. Maybe I'll put it over here. Do I want to put it in the calendar view, or do I want to put it on the side? I think I want to put it on the calendar view. That we started budgeting like the following day. And I don't really have a budget stickers, but I do have this sheet from Once More with Love. I'm going to use this little munchkin here. This is kind of like what it was, just starting the budget in the middle of the month. So I'm gonna just put this in the calendar view to mark that we started budgeting the following day, or started budgeting the 11th. So that works. Started budgeting 12/11/22. Now, going back to the app, let's just do this together. So on the 11th, this little grocery cart is what I use to symbolize groceries. So groceries is this gold color, and we spent $22 on wings. So let me just mark that in here. And that's from Costco. And this was because, I'm pretty sure he got this on the 12th, but I guess I just put the 11th because that's actually when I started budgeting. But this was because of a Sunday, or football Sunday. Of course, Dustin wanted some wings. So that is where that came from. The next expense that we have, and we really haven't been spending much from our categories, but these two house icons, I use these to symbolize a sinking fund. So we spent 2 sinking funds. One of them was from home for vacuum filters. We got some new vacuum filters because we needed some replacements. So I'm gonna have to put this in our sinking fund. And then from the baby category, we spent $130. We bought the little foam mats, we bought extra bibs, we just bought extra things for Beanie because for Amazon, she has like a 15% discount that's going to be ending soon. So that's where that sinking fund came out of. And then on the 17th, we spent another sinking fund category from gifts and treating for the white elephant boba. That was one of the white elephant gifts. We got some boba because Dustin's family loves boba. But another category we spent from was gas. We spent $35 to refill the tank on the 17th for gas. And then we also got birria tacos, and that is from the food category or eating out category, and that is the pink one. And we were kind of craving it, but we were around the area, so we decided to just get it. But I didn't even end up finishing it fully. I usually always finish it, but I couldn't finish the last taco. I don't know why. I haven't been having much of an appetite. But there's that one, and that is it. That was spent all the way up until the 17th, which is what we're checking in for. So let me show you guys the sinking funds real quick. So I actually had to fill out and do my sinking funds video real quick because I did not have that set up yet. So this is our sinking funds for the month of December. We're going to go ahead and just write down those sinking fund transactions. So what we had was the baby category, home, gifts and treating. Those are the only 3 transactions. This one I'm not marking because this one's Sunday the 18th, and we're currently not checking that in since this is going to be a part of the week 3 check-in. But for the beginning of the month all the way to the 17th, those are the only sinking fund transactions that we had. So I'm going to go ahead and mark those in. Alrighty, so those are now logged in. Now let's go ahead and actually do our check-in. And I got some really good feedback from you guys from using the visual from the what is it called, the December budget with me video, because we had to balance out our accounts from not budgeting in November. So we're going to go ahead and continue using this so you guys can see how I transfer funds over when I do the weekly check-in videos. Let's go ahead and just finish this out first, and then we'll do the balancing out. So this should be very fast since like we barely have any transactions. We only have 3 transactions this whole week. So we have one from eating out, groceries, and gas. That means allowance and cups had no transactions. So the eating out, groceries, so what is that? Gas, we spent $35. Costco groceries is the gold color. We spent $22. And eating out for Birria, the pink one, we spent $26. I'm gonna go ahead and mark those off. I used to pick out one of the colors, the fine tip markers from Erin Condren, to cross this out, but I don't really feel like going to get that. So now we have them all checked off. Let's go ahead and calculate these. So for eating out, we started with $300. That means $300 minus $26. That equals to $274 left over. For groceries, we started with $400 minus 22. That is $378 left over. Then for gas, we had $35. We started the month with $100. 100 minus 35 equals $65. And then for allowance and pups, both of those categories are $100 each. We did not spend anything. That means both of them still have $100 left over. So that looks good. Now we're gonna set up our weekly balance, and this sheet is now missing a washi because I used it for the sinking funds video. So we're going to lay this top washi down, and I don't know what's been, I used to be utterly obsessed with budgeting and our budget and saving and goals and all that good stuff, but I'm not sure what's been happening to me lately. The only thing that's been really keeping me interested is stickers, because I'm really like, it's really pretty. It's kind of like it just feels really nice. Like pen and paper has always been a really nice feeling for me, especially since I work remote, so I'm always on a computer. So pen and paper is just something that like I'll never ever be able to let go. It's just something that like I'll never be able to grow apart from. But I guess that's kind of why stickers have been really helping me out, because like the whole aesthetic of it and then filling it out with that pen and paper feel, it's just really nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not really sure what I'm even talking about right now. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the last 5, since we only budget for 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 weeks. Okay. So that looks good. Then we have our last little washi on here. This washi is absolutely gorgeous. I think this is one of my favorite washis ever. Honestly, like next year, I just might have a whole entire thick washi just dedicated to that, but we'll see. And then we have these little page flags. We're gonna go ahead and put these down. Every once in a while, I am a little bit more creative with these little page flags, putting these little patterns on here, but not always. They're usually a solid color. But if I have extra patterns that match the kit, I definitely love to just make these a little bit more spiced up. But that is going to be it for that sheet, since I don't budget for the 5th week. Okay, so all the lines are down now. Let's go ahead and same thing as before. So we're just going to just draw these lines, since like we're not even checking in for week 1 anymore. We're checking in for week 2 combined. So we have our monthly budget, and these are the monthly budget categories. Then we have bills and we have sinking funds. I honestly don't know why I put bills second. Bills is always first. This is just gonna throw me off. Okay, so I had to I had to switch them. I had to switch them because this is just what I'm used to. And the main reason why is because the categories, these monthly budget categories, as well as sinking funds, those always come out of our credit card. For bills, however, some of them come out of credit card and some of them do not. So I think that's why I like having that at the very top. But I will explain that in a second. Let's just calculate the easiest ones first. So from the monthly budget categories, which is the ones that we just tracked on the weekly check-ins page, as well as in our calendar view, these, let's calculate them up. So 26 plus 22 plus 35, that equals to $83 that we spent from our budget categories. Next, for sinking funds, let's see what we spent. From sinking funds, we spent these 3 categories. So I'm going to just put a check mark just because it's very visual for me. I'm a very visual person, but we spent $130 plus $20 plus $13. That equals to $163. So let's go ahead and mark 163. Now for bills, that is the last category we have not budgeted yet. So for bills, I'm going to go ahead and check our checking account, the one that has bills come out of. The reason why some of them are hooked up to our checking account instead of our credit card is because those bills have a fee associated to it if you hook it up to a credit card, or that bill just can't hook up to a credit card in general. So the ones that I have hooked up to a credit card are the ones that do not have a fee. And the reason why I do that is because we get 2% cash back on every dollar. So if I'm already going to pay these amount for bills, I might as well just get 2% cash back. So if I could, I would have every single bill hooked up to a credit card just so I can get 2% cash back on it since I'm paying it anyway. But that's kind of why there's a mixture of some of them come out of credit card and some of them do not. So the ones that do not come out of credit card, I have them come out of this checking account directly. The reason why is because this checking account is the one that holds the funds for our monthly budget categories, which are these, along with our bills, for all of our bills, and then for all of our sinking funds too. You guys might know that for our primary checking account, this is the one that has all of like the spent money, outgoing money, to fund our credit card, stuff like that. It's just easier for us to have those bills that cannot hook to credit card hook up to this checking account specifically. So I'm going to go ahead and check this checking account to see what bills came out, and I'm also going to check our credit card to see what transactions or bills came out. So I'll be right back. Okay, so only 2 bills came out, which was for Netflix and HBO. Nothing came out of our checking account yet. Our checking account balance is still exactly the same, $85.61. So nothing changed. No transactions came out since the last time we checked this account together. But I did see something on our credit card. Curology came out. I have a Curology subscription. I paused it a couple months ago and I completely forgot about it. This is what happens when I don't budget. So I do have to calculate that in our sinking funds, but I honestly don't feel like adjusting numbers right now. So I'm just going to put beauty, and it came out, when did it come out? It's still pending currently. So I guess this works out. This is for the 18th. And this is, I'm going to round up, it's $57. And this is for Curology. I had like a crazy breakout, so I've been using this and it's actually been helping me a lot. So I do really like it, but I no longer really need this. So I actually paused it until April. I should cancel it, right? I'm still deciding. So I just paused it until April and I put that in my personal planner to remember. But I'm going to put this here, and I know I did not calculate this yet because I'm not going to check it. So that's kind of why I have these checks, because if I put a check, I know I already calculate these in our budget. So when I don't have a check, I know I have to still calculate this. So I'm going to do this next week. I do it next week. So we'll just go back to our weekly balance. just kidding, not our weekly balance, to our monthly balance, to our monthly budget, and these are the only two that came out. That means $10.59 plus $15.89, since these two are the only ones that came out, and both of them came out of our credit card, which is why there's a C there. That equals to $26.48. So $26.48. And since both of these came out of our credit card as well, that means basically every single transaction came out of our credit card. So all three of these have to get transferred out of our checking account into our primary account to pay for our credit card. Since these are on our credit card, they're not paid with yet with our funds. So we're going to transfer these over to our checking to pay for it. So we have 26.48 plus $83 plus $163 equals $272.84. So we're going to go ahead and transfer this from this account over to our primary account, since our primary account is what we use to pay for our credit card. So I just transferred those funds over to our primary checking, so I can go and pay that credit card now. Sometimes I forget and I'll pay it like the next day or something, but that is in this account now. So the new balance for our second checking account is $8,288.52. So that is our new balance of this account. And the reason why is because we transferred over this amount. So that minus 8561 equals to this amount. And this is, I got this number from the account, but I just want to show you guys. But that is what is currently in our checking account. I also want to mention that we did get another paycheck. So we did get a third paycheck here, which is $1,300, and that was my paycheck. So I already went ahead and transferred $1,300 into our savings account, our short-term savings. So this new amount is here is $3,541.20, and that is the new amount into this account, just to keep this updated. So we're slowly getting there to be able to have enough money for next month's budget, because every paycheck we get this month we put into our short-term savings. So at the beginning of the following month, we have all of the funds needed to budget everything out. This is now updated as well. Let me finish filling this out. The beginning, well, we start, I am all out of whack for this video. I'm doing everything backwards. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm probably making this video so confusing right now, but for the start of all of our bills, these are all of our variable and fixed bills. So down here is our section just for our bills. We are starting the month with $31.50. That is our variable bills plus our fixed bills number. Those two added up together equals $31.50. And then for our monthly budget categories, those are these categories here. We are starting the month with $1,000. And then for our sinking funds, we had $3,401 to start the month with, but we added $1,000. That equals to $4,411. So we're starting the month with $44,411 in sinking funds. And just to make it easy, I'm going to go ahead and add those all up. So that plus the 1,000 plus the 31.50 for our bills equals 85.61. And if you guys remember, that was the amount that we started the month with in that account. And then for bills, from the 31.50, we spent $26.48. So $31.50 minus the $26.48, that equals to $3,123.52. Then from the 1,000, we spent $83. We have a leftover of $917. And then for sinking funds, from $411 minus $163, that equals to $4,248. So these numbers combined, that plus 917 plus 31 $23.52. That equals to the $8,288.52. And that is how much is currently in that checking account. So everything balances out. Those are all the correct numbers in here and that they reflect. Oh, and before I forget, I did not put my none spent stickers. So I'm going to just put these down. I do have like a neutral colorway and stuff, but I'm going to just use the ones that match the month, of course, because they match the month. I feel like it's so pretty. So I'm only putting none spent for this week since we didn't really budget for the first couple weeks. It's crazy to me that we barely spent any money. Ever since Bean came into this world, we have not been spending that much from our categories. If anything, I feel like we've been spending so much from our sinking funds. And honestly, I'm not even going to bother using the bill dues because I just don't use bill due stickers. I don't know why. I used to once upon a time, but like I don't use the bill due stickers anymore. I'm just gonna leave those there. So that is going to be it for this check-in video. I think I wanted to go a little bit more in depth, but I don't know if my brain is all there with me right now. So hopefully next week's video for week 3, it'll be a little bit smoother process. But thank you guys so much for watching. This is actually going to be it for this video. I do hope that you guys still enjoyed it nonetheless. And hopefully I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye!